Flexology, cupping, and hot stones. Kylie's hands go right to the problem areas and work out all the issues. She is certified in prenatal massages, oncology, lymphatic drainage, pre- and post-surgery massages, and she can also work on minors and athletes. For openings and specials, like and follow Apex MT on Facebook.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Welcome back to the Spring Hill Activity Center here on Spring Hill Sports Live. Tristan Jordan joined with you by Alex Smith and Q Harris on camera for us this evening for a heavy matchup between the Spring Hill Broncos and the visiting Basehor-Linwood Bobcats. The score at half was 1-0 thanks to a goal in the 25th minute by Seth Oberkrum, and this match gets back underway with pace. This opening kickoff of the second half was brought to you by Seats Incorporated. Kick off your new career with Seats Incorporated in Spring Hill. Seats is a leader in the manufacturing of quality seating and accessories for vehicles, with competitive wages and benefits. To see all their openings or to apply online, go to seatsinc.com. So, a lot of possession here from the Spring Hill Broncos as they are not putting their bottoms in seats on that bench. They are back up, ready to go for this second half. A man there, Zach Bruckner, happy to see him back in the starting lineup for the Broncos following an injury that has had him sidelined for the last 4 matches or so. Seth Lovett loses out on that far side as Parker Simon cuts out a poor pass, and the Broncos regain possession.
That's okay, though, for Lovett. I like that run down the side and forcing 2 defenders to come and pressure him. I prefer that to watching a poor cross go sailing way over the goal.
And the ball is sent sailing over the back line as Sedlock gets onto it. Now Sedlock, it was long, and a nice sliding tackle there from Jake Rainforth. Pokes the ball away before Parker Simon's able to come back and help out from the midfield. Great opportunity, the first really threatening opportunity of the game for the visitors as the Broncos defense able to lock it down.
It was. I've been asking for that third player to get up and join the 2 strikers, and it finally happened. Carson Johnson, that wide left midfielder coming from that position, getting up on the play and nearly getting to that ball, ends up just taking a poor touch as he was trying to plant himself for the shot, displaced the ball just slightly, and ended up looking foolish.
And foolish he did, as this ball is now with the Bobcats in the middle of the park. Heavy touch there from the Bobcats. Seth Lovett almost able to recover. And now Oberkrum being challenged. Back with his half up, half down look as they start the second half here. They've also reset their starting lineup, which was brought to you by America's Heartland Connection. So the Bobcats clearing it towards the back line as Harrington all the way back in his box. Then opts to return the favor, booting it long, looking for long. Caleb Bruckner sending it forward for Campos. He has an overlap from Jacob Bruckner behind him. Opts to take it down by this near sideline. Campos looking for the cross, takes an extra touch before it's poked away by the Bobcats and out of play for a corner kick.
Yeah, Sauersig, a player that I had to get the pronunciation on before this game. That doesn't happen often in the Frontier League. The Bobcat defender, though, making a nice intervention on the play.
So the senior Cade Sauersig from Basehor-Linwood does well there to protect his net, and now there's a bit of conversation in the net. Harrington being pushed all the way in towards the back of the net by Jacob Bruckner. Ball flicked up by Oberkrum. Look, Jacob Bruckner looked like he wanted to go for the bicycle kick on that opportunity before it was cleared away. Parker Simon with a nice header, finding Oberkrum, who flicks it on and gives up possession in the process.
Good build-up here from the Bobcats, something they lacked really in that first half. And as I say that, ball played harmlessly to a bunch of Spring Hill players.
And one of the Bobcats has walked off on the far touchline. He took a hard tackle from It was either Oberkrum or maybe even Simon in that midfield when the ball was bouncing around. He has since walked off the pitch and to the sideline in frustration. So Sedlock with an opportunity here. All he has to do is beat Delgadillo, and it goes just wide, curling past the net as the team who were down to 10 due to strange circumstances are not able to capitalize.
Yeah, and the alarm bell's got to be sounding now for the Broncos. Couple of opportunities. It's just far too easy, leaving two players up the field. I mean, that's why you do it, to create chaos, and you saw a phenomenal move, just not able to apply the finish.
Really well done there from number 10, Tim Sedlock, able to finesse his way past a couple of the Broncos defenders, had a one-on-one with Jacob Delgadillo in the net before he curled it just ever so slightly wide of the near side post. Interesting development with the midfielder walking off the pitch for the visitors. A substitute has rejoined the fray, so the sides are back level at 11-11. Jacob Bruckner trailing all the way back to relieve a bit of the pressure, clearing this out for a throw-in.
Yeah, Caden Johnson bombing down that right side now as these wide midfielders for Basehor-Linwood seem to be getting forward just a little more, seem to be getting a little more comfortable here in the second half, whether that's just growing into the game or whether that's a specific instruction we'll likely see as this game continues.
The Broncos have 29 goals on the season, averaging just over 2.5 goals a game. Obviously, you can't score a half goal a game, but when you average things out, it comes out to an uneven number, as the Bobcats looking to add to the 9 goals allowed by the Broncos. Bruckner not allowing that to happen as he boots it long for Lovett. Seth Lovett with a heavy touch off his forehead, and that ball will be cleared away for another corner kick, the second of this second half for the Broncos.
Yeah, and it appeared that nothing was on there really for Lovett, who simply chased that ball down, put the defenders in an uncomfortable position, earns the corner kick opportunity. Unfortunately for him, that means he's got to get back and defend, because use your wide men, your speed as the defense on that corner when you move up those big center backs for the headers.
Now a corner kick is taken by Jacob Campos. It's curling towards the net, and a header by Jacob Rainforth finds the back of the net. 2-0 Broncos.
I would like to see a freeze frame of that one, getting way up above the defenders. Jake Rainforth, the sophomore, rising high and powering a header into the corner. Made it look easy. It is not, folks. Both the delivery and the contact. That's a nice goal.
And the sophomore center back, Jake Rainforth, adds his name to the team sheet once again on the score sheet with another goal for the Broncos in just his second year on this team. It's hard to see what could possibly stop this man.
And you know who doesn't get any point in terms of a goal or an assist on the play is Lovett, as that kickoff was actually ended up a shot attempt, a very cheeky one there by Sedlock, but Lovett making the run, diving down that right side to earn that corner kick opportunity. That is what led to the goal.
And that cheeky shot from Sedlock wasn't a terrible idea, as Delgadillo was taking his sweet time getting back in towards his box, getting back into position for the kickoff. No harm, no foul, though, as the clock needs to be running, says the center official, and now we are running again. So we are going to wait for that clock to catch up with the center official. We're back underway because the clock stops in high school sports for when the ball goes out of play off a goal or a heavy injury, something of those reasoning. Whatever the center official sees fit to stop the play, he'll bring his wrists up, connect them in an X formation above his head, signaling to stop the clock.
And you know that I try not to harp on the rules too much, because I do realize that I'm just a person. No one's listening to me. It's not going to change just because I wanted to, but why not just add 5 more minutes to the half and not do that? That's already what everyone else is doing, and the end result would be almost exactly the same. The only thing you lose is players are going to be mad about the added time.
Opportunity here for the Broncos is Campos is muscled off the ball. Well done there from number 15, Isaac Miller, the senior center back for the visitors from Basehor-Linwood.
Put that on a defending instructional video. That is how you use your body in the box, where things tend to be more sensitive, but defending without fouling.
And speaking of using your body well, Seth Lovett did a nice job of shielding the ball there. before his cross was blocked far towards the far sideline. And then a beautiful textbook sliding tackle from Lovett again, showcasing his abilities with his body.
Had a couple of chances to score and not able to convert over both this last Lewisburg game and in this game already, but it appears that things are starting to click. It's been a much better performance from Lovett since halftime.
It just feels like something that was said by head coach Jeremiah Lavelle was just enough to light that fire, right? It was just enough of a spark to catch something. Maybe a couple of leaves, maybe a little bit of grass is on fire right now. The question is, can they take that and build it into a bonfire as this ball falls to Spiegelhalter, and he's looking to douse that spark early with another opportunity. It's blocked by Harrington, but a third corner kick for the Broncos as they will make a substitution here.
Yeah, Spiegelhalter trying to bring the gas canisters to the party, but still Spring Hill looking to break this one open with a third.
Ethan Bowman coming in for Jacob Campos. Up top, looks like Bowman will slot into the right side, and we'll see Lovett reclaim his striker position at the top of this Broncos attack. Although for the corner kick, Lovett has dropped all the way back towards the near touch line, or the midway line. The ball is headed away, finding Lovett on the second offering, not quite able to get off a shot. Caleb Bruckner drops all the way back and does well to cut that out and then gives possession right back. Now the Bobcats trying to garner some possession down this near sideline, and as I say that, they boot it long to the other side, looking for a switch of fields before it's headed away by Seth Oberkrum, applying the pressure nicely into the back of the Bobcats forward. Sedlock, who almost had a goal earlier. Ethan Bowman able to scoop up possession, cutting it back. Center official allowing for play to continue following that tackle. Parker Simon with a poor pass to Dennis Martinez before it's cut out by Oberkrum yet again. A lot of interplay on the far touchline as this ball falls to Sedlock, who has fought hard to get this possession, and it's cleared away by Oberkrum, one of the two goal scorers for the Broncos. Head coach Eric Schwartz not happy on that sideline, barking orders at his Broncos defense, who seem rather unorganized after a really solid first half from the midfield. So something to keep an eye on as Sedlock goes to ground with a shot offering there. It's cleared away to the far touchline. Sedlock's slow to get back to his feet. Good possession here, looking for a recycled ball into the box. It's cleared away by Jacob Bruckner, only as far as Caleb, who sends it back to him on this near sideline. Jacob Bruckner forced to clear it out of play. Quick throw-in taken here by the Bobcats, and the center official blows for a substitute. So stoppage of play here. The clock will continue to tick on as we are just about half an hour left to go in this matchup, and the scoreline is Broncos 2, Bobcats 0. First half we saw heavily dominated by the boys in purple, and the visitors in white haven't quite been able to get anything going until this second half, Alex.
Right, yeah, they have looked better a little bit, have the Bobcats here in half number 2. From Spring Hill, kind of more of the same, and that may be enough. I mean, that domination of the midfield and even lacking a super clinical edge in the final third, they have just dominated this game and gotten so many chances to such an extent that that won't really matter in terms of the win or the draw here.
So the Bobcats trying to circulate possession across their back line. They find Curtis in the midfield, trailing it all the way back. And that forward ball is a little soft, but they're able to get it under the pressure of Martinez and Oberkrum before Martinez does well to strip possession back in favor of the Broncos.
And what I often wonder watching this team is, would a Bruckner play on the forward line? Would that make sense? Because sometimes I just get the feel that this team likes to run with the ball from deep and doesn't get enough Lovett-esque penetration through those back lines. And could that be something that maybe could be changed positionally using the players they already have?
Ethan Bowman pressing forward, trying to prove that you don't need a Bruckner in the front line, but others may disagree. I would say that if any of the three of them would need to go forward, it's not Zach Bruckner because he's a stalwart in defense.
Right.
It wouldn't be number 19, Jacob Bruckner, although he's been heavily pressing up forward. I suppose you could see Jacob Bruckner getting a start at one of the winging positions, and I just feel like Caleb Bruckner is too important to that midfield. So I guess I would say if we were to move one forward, it would be Jacob Bruckner into this left wing position.
Right. And I'm certainly not suggesting they're doing something wrong here as Spring Hill going to the box.
Opportunity for Jacob Bruckner, and he skies the opportunity. As we're trying to give him those opportunities more frequently, he shows why he's not up front. Although a great chance there, great positioning from the Bruckner brother to get himself into the final third.
Right, and just to go back to that to completely clarify what I was saying, I'm not suggesting necessarily that Spring Hill are doing something wrong. Obviously, this is a fantastic squad this season. It just makes me curious. It makes me wonder when they have such influential players like Bruckner, when they have really a multitude of guys that can get on the ball, unlike most teams, how they might deploy them tactically or in different manners.
Absolutely, and it almost feels like they're already utilizing wingbacks.
Right.
But I almost want to see what this team would be like if they had true wingbacks, as Martinez is muscled off the ball there. You could see his visible frustration with himself as that ball goes out of play for a Broncos throw-in. But that just speaks to the mentality of this Broncos team. Even when the ball goes out of play in their own favor, they're still frustrated with themselves because they know they can do better in possession from the run of play. So definitely something to keep an eye on is the mentality of this Broncos team as they surge forward. As Parker Simon now looking for Bowman, looking for a shot, and a heavy touch goes into the box before it's poked away.
And that was good defending also. Bowman ran right past a couple of players who any one of them could have tried to jump in, make a tackle there, but disciplined defending, waiting for the right moment.
And disciplined defending in purple as well, as Zach Bruckner is able to send it forward for Jacob before his forward pass intended for Bowman is cleared away. Now Parker Simon has Caleb Bruckner on the far side, opts to go to Bowman, who tries to muscle it through the defense and gives up possession as it is recycled back to Harrington. Caleb Bruckner now surging in towards the box with a shot, and it's into the back of the net, the side netting, as it's 3-0 Broncos here at the Spring Hill Activity Center.
Well, I said I feel like Spring Hill makes runs from deep with the ball quite often, and what do? Pick up the ball, run into the box, charging and unleashing a fierce right-footed drive across the goal, and now this game has been broken open.
And this just seems to be the way that the Broncos like to play. They take it easy on their opponents in the first half, almost drawing them in, giving them hope. And then in the second half, they just ball after ball batter that net. Despite having a rough start to this second half, they find a third goal in quick succession. 2 goals back-to-back, a goal from Jake Rainforth in the 47th, and a second goal from Caleb Bruckner. Well, his first, but a second goal of the half in the 55th minute here, as there are now 3-0 as the home team in the Broncos from Spring Hill High School assert themselves over the Basehor-Linwood Bobcats once again.
And I think as
Parker Simon picks up the ball, trying to surge into the forward position. He does a little Maradona move, falling down, allowing the Bobcats to get back on defense. It wasn't Parker Simon's fault. He was just drawn to ground following a trailing foot, as Dennis Martinez now is looking for that forward run from Oberkrum. Maybe Seth Lovett should have been a little further wide, but no one got onto the end of it. Either way, the Bobcats go the other way. Heavy tackle there as the foul is called on Caleb Bruckner. He will receive the free kick with the Broncos. It looks like it will be taken by number 8, one of the goal scorers, Seth Oberkrum. And as I say that, it's taken by the other Seth on the far side. Seth Lovett takes this free kick. Short to Rainforth. Now Lovett surging down the far side. Looking for a cross. There are 2 Broncos in the box, one just on the outside. It bounces, finds the chest of Spiegelhalter, then the right foot of Spiegelhalter. It's blocked away and then cleared out of play. It could have been grabbed, but clearly the pace of play slowly catching up to all the players down there on the pitch.
Yeah, another good opportunity down that right side, and that's where the danger has been for Spring Hill in this second half.
And more danger coming as a cross from Lovett bounces once before gathered by Harrington, despite the pressure from Jacob Bruckner. And just look at his pace, his absolute work ethic. He was in the box not even a second ago and immediately runs all the way back to apply the pressure that stunts the growth of progression out of the back from the visitors.
Yeah, and that's why I just love the way this team is structured when they make transitions. They surround those athletic Bruckner bros, and they just give the ball to Martinez and have him turn and find someone. And it's simple, but it's so effective.
effective it is, as both teams will try to make a substitution. Bobcats trying to become more effective themselves as Spiegelhalter exits for Jacob Campos, which will see Ethan Bowman move to the left wing, and then Bowman to the left wing. Campos will reclaim that striker position. A substitution for Basehor-Linwood as well, as they will have the throw-in to get us back underway here at the Spring Hill Activity Center, where the home team leads 3-0 with just about 22 minutes remaining. Nearing that hour mark as Parker Simons pressured heavily in the midway, forced to trail back to Zach Bruckner. And the ball is sent all the way back to Delgadillo by Rainforth. Good possession here from the Broncos. Simple passing. 1-2 touches by players. Nothing too risky as that forward ball initially cleared into the midfield, then picked up by Bruckner to Bruckner on this corner side. It's sent in towards the box, kept in play by Basehor-Linwood. Almost wonder if they should have just let that go, relieving themselves of the pressure. Bowman with a beautiful touch, finding Jacob Bruckner. He takes one player to ground, official allowing play to continue. Jacob Bruckner still in possession. Now Bowman looking for a cross on his left foot, cutting it back, then it gets tripped up under him, takes it down by this near corner flag. He has support from two of the three Bruckners. Caleb's the one who receives the ball, surging towards the baseline he goes, and then out of play does he dribble.
My goodness, what a sequence, what a helter-skelter attack there down the left side. But you saw some nice defending from the front by the ever-energetic Jacob Bruckner down this left side.
Great energy from Bruckner, and the combination of Bruckner and Bowman in the last couple of minutes has been really nice since Campos has checked back in. We've even seen Caleb Bruckner in a nice Maradona move there from Owen Long, the senior from Basehor-Linwood, as he does a nice Maradona and then dribbles out of play following the beautiful skill. So ball cleared back to Oberkrum, and then out of play goes that ball. Despite the run from Bruckner, trying to keep it in play, it will be a throw-in for Basehor-Linwood around the midway line. And then a reverse of that throw after good pressure from Seth Oberkrum.
Yeah, about midway through the second half, and the way the play in open field has kind of developed is very similar in the end to the first half. Just a couple of opportunities. They all came early for Basehor-Linwood, which we thought could have maybe developed into a trend and they may have grown into this game. Instead, Rainforth's goal kind of shut them down, and then they conceded another one.
Trying not to concede are the Broncos as Bowman drops into his defensive half, applying a bit of pressure, and a heavy touch there from the Bobcats is easily cleared away by Zach Bruckner. Simply relieving the pressure, a throw-in awarded to Basehor-Linwood just on the edge of their attacking third. Ball sent in, nice lofted throw-in, poked away by Martinez, and then back into the middle of the park from Long. Rainforth finds Bruckner. Rainforth surging forward in the middle of the park, side by side with Caleb Bruckner. Receives the ball, goes Rainforth, shuffling it off for Lovett. Lovett cutting it back, looking for the shot with his left foot. Takes the shot, and it's gathered by Harrington.
Yeah, Lovett trying to get back onto the goal scorer sheet, trying to find that goal scoring form, and not able to do so, cutting in on that preferred foot.
Lovett, of course, trying to get himself back onto that score sheet, as you just mentioned, trying and trying. He has been all of this match, not quite able to correct the woes that he experienced against the Bobcats, of Lewisburg. They are the Wildcats, right?
Right.
Yes, the Wildcats. I had it right the first time. I should just stick with my gut. All right, ball back in play with Rainforth. Looking to this near side for Dom Pemberton, who just checked in to this match. With that substitution, we see Parker Simon make way for Dom Pemberton, which then slots Jacob Bruckner in towards the midfield. He's positioned almost a sweeper up in front of that back four. He's also playing in that 6 role. It'll be interesting to see how they maneuver these midfield three as Harrington comes all the way out of his box to clear this.
Yeah, it will be interesting because of the fact that Spring Hill have got a couple more matches this week. It'll be interesting to see now with the lead if they do opt to kind of rotate this, or if they feel, as I think they should feel, that the Bobcats have been in this game and continue to be in this game.
Speaking of the Bobcats in this game, they then surge into the attacking third. And nice defensive work there from Zach Bruckner, whose clearance falls to the feet of the Bobcats, but well done from Caleb Bruckner and Ethan Bowman to apply the pressure, forcing the ball all the way back towards the midfield line. Curtis sending it forward for Graff. Graff has a man down on this near side touchline. Great block there from Caleb Bruckner. Ethan Bowman now applying pressure, and an errant pass from Cade Sauersig. Finds Bruckner. Now Bruckner to Bowman. And back again. Campos is waiting for the ball at the edge of the box. Beautiful lofted cross. Campos cutting it back, looking, trying to keep it in play, and it's poked into the middle of the box before being cleared away. Sauersig forced to put his boot through it. A nice block there from Bowman.
Yeah, Martinez and Lovett, they're chatting about that because both of them made that far post run. Nobody made that run to the middle, and that ended up being where they could have scored a fourth goal.
And they will continue in search of that fourth treasure as Campos looking for the cross now. Takes it down by the nearby line, and a free kick awarded to the home team. And then clears the ball away goes Jacob Swinford out of frustration. He will receive a yellow card. We've seen this as a talking point in American soccer.
Yes.
As in the MLS, they've made a rule change where if you kick the ball away in a time-wasting effort, then a yellow card is automatically issued. Here we see the stoppage of the clock with just 17 minutes left on it. Free kick awarded to Spring Hill just on the outside of the near side of this box.
You're right, and sometimes it's not necessarily a time-wasting effort. Sometimes it's because they're angry, because they're upset about the call, but in the end, the effect is the same. It wastes time off the clock, and in the pro game where they can't stop the clock, that time is very valuable.
Absolutely. So Swinford receives the yellow for Basehor-Linwood. He sees the bench for a moment or two as Caleb Bruckner sends a lofted cross into the head, and then finally it's put into the back of the net by Dennis Martinez. The initial opportunity was off the head of Jacob Bruckner. It looked like it touched the net. Didn't quite clear the line all the way, but it doesn't matter as number 20, captain Dennis Martinez, adds his name to the score sheet.
Yeah, Martinez there. You just felt that kind of the defense paralyzed in fear a little bit. So many bodies in there that you feel, even when you're a defender, that if you really wind up to smash it, you might just hit the ball off of your own player, and it'd be an own goal anyway. That results in tentative defending, which results in a free open ball bouncing in the middle of the area for Martinez to smash.
And Martinez smashes it home and also smashes his name onto the score sheet with a goal just 3 minutes after the hour mark. 63 minutes played. Broncos lead here at the Spring Hill Activity Center, 4-0 over the Basehor-Linwood Bobcats. And you can see right after the resumption of play, 3 of the 4 Broncos that were at or around that center line were just towing it, eager to get back underway, apply more pressure as a sliding tackle there goes errant. Long looking for an opportunity, trying to pull back a little bit of this mountain, make it a little bit less daunting to climb, and a goal kick awarded to Delgadillo.
Right, and now things could get interesting potentially because now it's a big lead. Broncos up 4-0. Now they can possibly think about that rotation, subbing players in. But again, this is a close matchup. This is a Basehor-Linwood team that has players, has the ability to progress the ball. And if Spring Hill do that, we could be looking at some late goals.
And progress the ball do Spring Hill as Campos looking to add his name to the score sheet. Not so, following a beautiful run from Jacob Bruckner, and you can see physically how gassed that man is following. As soon as the ball's put back in play, he immediately puts the burners back on.
Yeah, Campos that time just playing a little too quickly. Had a couple of players overlapping and could have taken a couple, maybe more touches of the ball as those teammates arrived in the area, draw away the defenders.
Good clearance there from Dom Pemberton as the ball is cleared off of him and out for a throw-in. Then headed away a little bit further down the line by Zach Bruckner. So throw-in awarded to Basehor-Linwood. It will be taken by Cade Sauersig on this near side touchline. Opting for the short throw-in to Long. It's cut out by the Broncos. And then finally, Bowman muscles to ground Johnson. Carson Johnson still down behind the play, but now one of the goal scorers, Dennis Martinez, sending it forward for Campos. And a little bit too much sauce on that one as it's cleared towards the midway line.
Yeah, unfortunately on that pass, they didn't want to bring Campos kind of running out of that direct line towards goal that he had, but that's what they needed to do. Play that ball to the open space to the right, bring him a little bit offline, but that's what you got to do to make the completion.
And offline goes the attacking opportunity as Zach Bruckner tried to bring online the Spring Hill attacking squadron of players, and that ball then dribbled out of play by Jake Rainforth, who has a goal himself, even though he's a center back, got himself all the way forward and got a head-on-one to put it into the back of the net. So we also see Cody Meek having checked in for Seth Oberkrum, another goal scorer for the Broncos. So Cody Meek in, number 12 at the right fullback position. Seth Lovett now pushing forward, trying to keep possession despite the pressure from the Bobcats, and will eventually lose out.
Yeah, and sometimes you see that with Lovett, a player trying to kind of develop his bag, losing out in the challenge.
Heavy strike there from the midfield of Basehor-Linwood, and I don't think anybody saw that one coming as Tim Sedlock, the senior, absolute wonder goal from him off his right foot, gets a nice knuckle on that ball, and it dips just under the bar. It goes just high enough over Delgadillo and into the back of the net. 1-4 for the Bobcats as they climb this mountain.
And Tristan, what did I say? A couple of substitutions for Spring Hill. You get those backup players on the field, and suddenly Basehor-Linwood are getting looks they didn't get earlier in the game. And, I don't think there's not an individual at fault for that goal in Spring Hill. It's not like you can look to a certain player and say, oh, they made a mistake that led to that amazing shot. Just inspirational offensive skill right there for that shot. But it just goes to show you take away 1-2 pieces. These matches are so tightly contested, even when they get up to 3-0, 4-0.
Absolutely, and that's, as you mentioned, that's part of what the rotation is meant to fix, right?
Right.
You want to bring in these pieces, these members of the backup brigade, and you want to bring them onto the pitch, give them some meaningful minutes towards the end of a match that may not matter much anymore, as another opportunity from the Bobcats goes begging.
Yeah, that could have been a goal.
Johnson sending it in towards the box, finding another Johnson before it's finally poked away. Foul is called. Another yellow card is going to be shown here to another member of the Bobcats squad. So the first time around, one of them received a yellow for a late tackle, and this time around, another late tackle on Ethan Bowman this time. It was Carson Johnson that receives this yellow card. He has to make way and will be subbed off momentarily.
Yeah, I was worried for a moment because of the way the ref actually presented that card. I could not tell which player had gotten carded at all, but of course the high school rule that you got to make your way over to the bench made it very clear to me who was heading over to the bench.
So 2 members of the visiting squadron on yellow cards now.
That's a great rule, by the way. I think pros should do that rule. They should remove players from the field of play for yellow cards. I would love that.
I think the only downside with removing a professional from the field of play would be they would have to make it, and that opportunity was well earned by the Bobcats, and eventually that shot goes over the bar from Tanner Graff, the senior from Basehor-Linwood. But I think if the professional soccer players were to institute a rule where you receive a yellow, you leave the pitch for a certain period of time, I think they might have to utilize something similar to hockey where there's like a penalty box type thing, because they already have a red card where a player is sent off. Bowman now on the ball off of a ball from Campos. He's able to keep himself onside, does Campos, looking for a cross on the ground, and just having the Basehor-Linwood players fall all over him, and eventually a foul is given. Penalty kick awarded to Spring Hill here as a stoppage of the clock with 12 minutes still on the clock, and a penalty is awarded to Jacob Campos.
Yeah, Campos just dancing down there. The ball was glued to his feet, and originally, of course, he thought he was going to head down to the byline, put a cross in, but then defended by 2 players, turns around and maintains possession. They just get a little bit over-eager making the challenge, and Broncos with a chance for a 5th goal.
And with penalty kicks, no one is expected to save these, but Jacob Campos certainly looking to add his name to the score sheet. He does not do so with a soft roller on the ground. It's easily saved by Harrington. Clock back underway with 12 minutes remaining. A phenomenal save from Harrington.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of fatigue for the finish by Campos as well.
And now the other way go the Bobcats. A shot and a beautiful diving save from Jacob Delgadillo off to his right.
Yeah, down and to the right side. That powerful near post effort was rolling along the floor. That's a great save.
And with a goal and then a saved penalty, could the momentum be shifting in favor of the Bobcats with just over 11 minutes, remaining in this match? Corner is sent in. It's headed once by the Bobcats and out of play for a goal kick for Jacob Delgadillo and the Broncos.
Yeah, Bobcats, how do they get two players matched up on Rainforth there in the center of the box? It could be 4-3 right now if these last two headers have gone in for the Bobcats. They've had the opportunities, and this Spring Hill defense just can't play like this at the end of games.
And you can tell that head coach Eric Schwartz agrees with you as Parker Simon, has checked back into that traditional number 6. He's come on for Dennis Martinez, one of the goal scorers for the home team. So trying to regain a bit of that defensive solidity. You could see the head coach with his arms crossed at the halfway line as the Broncos are able to cut out the progression from the Bobcats, now surging in the opposite direction. Bruckner to Bruckner. Caleb Bruckner on the ball. Has Bowman to his right. Opting to take it himself, and his sliding shot goes begging just ever so slightly past the far post.
And if he had taken just a little off that, pretty certain that it was a shot attempt because of the strength of the shot. But if he had taken just a little off it, Jacob Bruckner would have been sliding there at the back post. Still think, though, Caleb Bruckner, making the right decision, dropping the shoulder, top of the box. Beautiful run up the field.
Absolutely beautiful run indeed. It just looked like his final touch may have been a little bit too far in front of him and then scuffed that shot, offering just ever so slightly. As an interesting substitution here for Basehor-Linwood with just under 10 minutes remaining. They sub out their goalkeeper. So Lake Harrington out of the field of play, and they bring in a new player. I can't quite see what number. I believe it is number 1, CJ Pate, the sophomore, checking in for the senior goalkeeper, trying to get a few members of their backup brigade a few meaningful minutes here in a game that could be flipped on its head after the momentum switch. The Broncos trying to tell me I'm wrong as Seth Lovett into the box. Cutting it back, looking for a cross. And good defensive work there from Basehor-Linwood. Regains possession for them in a very important position.
Yeah, frustration on the far side for Lovett. But at this point in the game, if you get the ball, you collect it, you progress it down to the corner. Even if you lose possession, you are taking up valuable time. And that is time that Basehor-Linwood do not have.
Rainforth with the cross. Campos with the header, and a phenomenal first touch save from CJ Pate. Sees it ping off the crossbar and back into the play.
Yeah, nice center forward play there by Campos. That's the second time we've nearly had a Spring Hill goal. First one hit the post from Martinez back in the first half, and that one just as good of a chance.
Campos still itching for his first goal back with this team in this evening matchup, as he's been in and out of this lineup as the game has progressed, hitting the bench at times, trying to still regain a bit of that form after some injuries earlier in the season. Ball sent down this near sideline to Bowman, who has some nice skill to nutmeg Johnson, who had an awful tackle early in the game, knows he's receiving a yellow, and this is a different Johnson than last time. But this Johnson, Caden Johnson, number 19, was the same player who earlier in the match had the slide tackle with his boot went up by the head of Caleb Bruckner. So easily could be a second yellow and a red card had the official been sterner up towards the front of this match.
It could, and I think both of us agreed it should possibly be. Of course, that happened a long time ago, but that was a bad challenge there in the opening minutes of the game. Perhaps even worse than the one we just saw there, which I think both of us agree that's a clear, easy yellow card textbook.
And it's just unnecessary, but it's part of the center official's job to keep this game within his control, and it slowly has been slipping away as the frustration from the visitors starts to rear its ugly head in the form of some ugly tackles, resulting in a couple of yellow cards in the last couple of minutes. Just under 7.5 minutes remain here at the Spring Hill Activity Center. The score currently reads Broncos 4, visiting Bobcats 1, but that could certainly increase for either team given the run of play as of late.
That it could. Defenders, of course, got Spring Hill started. Both the goals were scored by members of that Spring Hill backline before midfield finally comes alive.
And Bruckner surging forward. finding his brother Caleb, then chipping it to the far side for Lovett. Rough first touch there, but then able to shuffle it forward, finding Jacob Bruckner. It's cleared away in his possession. A throw-in for the Broncos as they will now make a triple switch.
And I love watching a player like Lovett, just a sophomore, but still a key dynamic attacking outlet for this team that has other skilled players they can go to. They don't need to use Lovett as much in the attack if they didn't want to, but with Lovett, you see that young potential. You see a bad play immediately followed by a good play. And most frustratingly of all, the reverse. A great play followed by something boneheaded, some mistake. And you just love to watch that development. Ideally, in the context of a winning team, you're up 4-1, making those mistakes that are not costing you results. But even so, we talk about it so much. The education of the players on the field and what they learn and how they develop and watching them grow brings us so much pleasure.
Absolutely, and seeing it year on year, right? So building not only from match to match, but then seeing how that progress can stack up season over season as a couple of members from the JV squad starting to get some minutes here as Carter Wilson checks in as well as Alex Hiesel comes in to this match. We saw Ty Spiegelhalter also come in. So a couple of substitutions. See some fresh faces out there who may not have been given minutes this evening.
And just going back to that player development side, I'm also a Johnson County Community College guy, Tristan, as you know, and now being on my second year doing these high school soccer broadcasts, it's just amazing to see. Sometimes it's the visiting teams that come to Johnson. Sometimes Johnson County recruits players from this area, and just to watch names of players that I recognize go up a level and follow them and know that I covered them in high school, it's just so great.
And Campos trying to get that shot off there, and it just seems like it's not his night for Jacob Campos.
No, easy offside.
He's offsides, and the ball hits the bar, even if he wasn't offsides. It's just not meant to be for the striker here this evening.
Yeah, Campos and Lovett, kind of the strugglers, rest of Spring Hill trying to pick him up and let him know, hey, we can carry you. We're a good enough team that not all 11 players need to be firing on all cylinders to win most of these games.
As Bruckner to Bruckner, yet another connection between the brothers in B. Sending it back for Zach Bruckner. Now Rainforth. Broncos trying to string together some simple passing with under 5 minutes here. Simply see out this result. Rainforth back to Parker Simon. Nice passing triangle here. You could see Zach Bruckner trying to send it back to Rainforth, but that window was closed, so finds Caleb, who weaves that ball nicely in for Jacob Campos, who you can just see is physically exhausted from his opportunities not going his way. And a beautiful ball connects with Spiegelhalter on the near sideline across in towards the box, finding Alex Hiesel before being cleared away.
And I talked about putting something in an instructional video earlier. This could be...
As the counterattack for the Bobcats, another offering from Sedlock, absolute wonder goal the first time around and almost a second.
I mean, is Sedlock the perfect counterattacking striker at this point? Based on what we've seen from him, so direct and immediate when he receives the ball, just wants to go past players, appears to have quite a vicious shot on him as well. That scored the goal with that, and converting those half chances, that's something that top-level strikers can do. Not many players can do it at this level, and that's what Basehor-Linwood needs to do against a team like this. They've obviously done so successfully once.
And can they do it again now as Carter Wilson on the ball, a member of the JV squad for Spring Hill, gets taken off the ball, but then right back to his feet, applying the pressure, allowing Parker Simon to step in and win this ball. Free kick awarded to Basehor-Linwood with 3 minutes remaining. Free kick in good field position. Can they pull back yet another goal? Likely just in consolation for their attendance here this evening, given their poor performance in the first half. And that ball gets headed behind. It just bounces off the back of someone's head. No offerings there. Nothing quite coming true for the Bobcats.
Yeah, that was actually an insane delivery right there to the back post. Almost too good. Nobody expecting the ball to get that deep. And the reason you want to put the ball there is because the goalkeeper can't get it flying over his head. And then once you ideally head it back across goal, you're going to have a goalkeeper that has no idea where he is or what's going on. So all you got to do at that point is just score it. But obviously that chance not coming to anything this time.
And hoping for a chance to come to him this time is Jacob Campos as the ball bounces a little high, and he then tries to have a go and skies that over the scoreboard and out of the playing field as the Spring Hill Activity Center loses yet another good ball.
Yeah, that one, it's so tempting, isn't it, for a high school player who's playing on the front line, who's played FIFA. Everyone knows you can hit a volley harder than you can hit a regular shot. So as soon as that ball bounces up for you, that's what you want to do. And maybe the technique on that one, a little safer to attempt it in the first minute of the game rather than the 79th minute of the game.
And so just under a minute and a half remaining here at the Spring Hill Activity Center. It looks as though yet another win for the home team as that ball is gathered by the Bobcats. Foul awarded on Caleb Bruckner, the number 9 in number 10 more so in positioning, or a box-to-box 8. It's really hard to tell what the midfield trio play in this lineup.
And we've talked about this position in high school soccer, the just gets the ball wherever they are position. We need to come up with some official Italian-sounding vocab name for that position. We'll get back to you guys. We got another Spring Hill game on Thursday. We'll be back on the network, so we'll put that one on the in the notebooks.
We will have a label for that free-roaming player, but it'll sound a little bit more fun. Almost like a regista of a 10 or something like that. A regista is a completely different role, but we'll do something similar to that as we are under a minute here in Spring Hill. And it looks as though the home team Broncos, who are still fighting for every single ball, heavily contested, high pressure up the pitch. Carter Wilson and Caleb Bruckner combining for that one, and a beautiful little flicking ball, finding Jacob Campos. 30 seconds now on the clock. Campos still on the ball, simply recycling it into the midfield, but the Broncos are still hungry for more as the ball falls to Alex Hesel, and his shot is gathered by C.J. Pate, and the pressure is just unrelenting from the boys in purple down there, and this should just wrap it up here with the final score for the Spring Hill Broncos 4 and the visiting Bobcats from Basehor-Linwood High School 1. We'll be right back with some post-game coverage right here on Spring Hill Sports Live, so keep it locked.
A great collision on the field? Awesome. An awesome collision on the road? Not so great. If that bad play does come your way, take your car to Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. As Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center, they work on all makes and models, even RV, marine, aviation, motorcycles, and more. Shoemaker Collision offers free estimates and loaners, plus they will work with all insurance companies. Get your ride back in the game. Learn more at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095.
Strode Orthodontics is creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Dr. Claire Strode and her staff have decades of combined experience, offering clear and metal Damon smile braces and Invisalign clear aligners for teens and adults. Dr. Strode tailors your treatment to meet your specific needs with 3 convenient locations in Olathe, Overland Park, and Spring Hill. Strode Orthodontics is ready to give you the beautiful smile you've always wanted. Call for your free no-obligation consultation, 913-491-3400, or visit StrodeOrtho.com. Rain Dance Studios is the area's newest dance studio with professionally trained staff, a brand new facility, and classes for every dance and tumbling level. Rain Dance Studios is everything you never knew you needed in a dance family. With an emphasis on customer experience, exquisite dance technique, and dancer confidence, Rain is the dance studio for every aspiring dancer. Come join Spring Hill's premier dance experience and get the royal treatment. Schedule a free 2-week trial by visiting raindancestudios.com.
First Auction Bank, community banking at its best. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Elliott Group is a proud supporter of Spring Hill and USD 230. At Elliott Group, we work, live, and shop in your local communities. Serving Miami and Johnson counties for more than 45 years, Elliott Group understands your needs. As an independent insurance agency, Elliott Group works with numerous carriers to find the coverage that best fits your needs. In Spring Hill, call 913-592-5552 or visit ElliottInsuranceGroup.com.
Welcome back to the Spring Hill Activity Center here for the post-game show, which is brought to you by Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center, Kansas City's premier auto collision repair center. They work with all insurance companies and can get you back on the road in no time. To learn more, visit them online at shoemakercollision.com or call 913-592-0095. So a special thank you to our post-game show sponsor, Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. With the final score here between the home team Broncos and the visiting Bobcats from Basehor-Linwood High School, the final score 4-1 in favor of the boys in purple here from Spring Hill. So we will be right back after this. Keep it locked here on Spring Hill Sports Live.
For more than 20 years, Gherkin Rental has been the place to go to get the job done in eastern Kansas and western Missouri. With a huge selection of quality equipment, from roll-offs to trailers, telehandlers to generators, power washers to popcorn makers. Experienced equipment professionals and clean, well-maintained tools to help you get the job done right the first time. Gherkin Rental. Stop by any of their 13 locations across the KC Metro or call 855-GHERKINS. That's 855-437-5367.
HERS Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, HERS is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
What is typically a daunting, frustrating, and intimidating experience was enjoyable and exciting because of Amy. She listened to what we envisioned for our future home and was able to show us houses that reflected this. She was with us every step of the way, taking the time to answer our phone calls and text. We ended up with our dream home, all thanks to Amy.
Feel at home while you find your next home with Amy Kelly of Reese Nichols Real Estate. Amy goes above and beyond for her clients and even makes a contribution to Ronald McDonald House with every closing. Contact Amy Kelly to buy or sell your home.
Massage is more than relaxation. Apex Massage Therapy can go beyond with targeted work for headaches and sinuses, myofascial releases, trigger point therapy, neuromuscular therapy, reflexology, cupping, and hot stones. Kylie's hands go right to the problem areas and work out all the issues. She is certified in prenatal massages, oncology, lymphatic drainage, pre- and post-surgery massages, and she can also work on minors and athletes. For openings and specials, like and follow Apex MT on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alyssa O'Connor, and I would like to welcome you to Sozo Chiropractic.
So many people only seek out a chiropractor when they are in pain, but ongoing wellness care helps you deal with stress and be healthier. At Sozo Chiropractic, the focus is on holistic wellness for any age. I am Webster certified for prenatal care, pediatric trained, as well as a family chiropractor. We also offer acupuncture and sauna services.
Sozo is a Greek word that means to heal, to make well, and to restore health. And that is our goal for each one of our patients who walks through the door.
The industry's most advanced equipment and training, state-of-the-art diagnostic tools, and the small-town friendly service you expect. That's J&T Auto Service in Spring Hill. Eliminate the veil of uncertainty with J&T Auto's digital diagnostic process. This unique service ensures transparency, clear communication, and documentation, allowing for a quick and complete repair. To learn more or to schedule an appointment, call 913-592-6424. You can also visit jtautoinc.com.
Welcome back to Spring Hill Sports Live for your postgame show, sponsored by Shoemaker Collision and Paint Center. Now time for your Chamber of Connection, brought to you by the Spring Hill Chamber of Commerce. Reminding you to support our community and shop local. Keep up to date with Chamber events by visiting them online at springhillks.org. Alex, who is our Chamber connection of the match?
Yeah, I like the connection on the right side of the defense for Spring Hill. That's Oberkrum and that's Rainforth. You see Bruckner usually on the other side, but those are the first two goal scorers, 25th minute Oberkrum, and just after halftime, or actually, 47th minute. That's not just after halftime at this level, but Rainforth off the corner. I'm going to love cutting that highlight, rising above. The English commentators love to say he leapt like a salmon. It sounds ridiculous to say without an accent, but he really rose up top significantly, head and shoulders above the rest of the players on that corner kick for that second Spring Hill goal. Those are my two, played phenomenally solid throughout this match.
I couldn't agree more. Those two on that right side of the defensive quartet from Spring Hill were absolutely lights out. Not to say that the other two weren't, because Jacob Bruckner was all over the pitch, and Zach Bruckner was still getting his sea legs after being out with injury, so it was nice to have him back as well. But the two goal scorers in the defensive quartet is just hard to argue with, having such a great match. So our final score here from Spring Hill Activity Center was the visiting Basehor-Linwood Bobcats had one goal in the whole match, despite a couple of really good opportunities. But only one goal was scored by number 10, Tim Sedlock, the senior, in the 67th minute. And that was after several great chances in all four of the Spring Hill goals. The first of which came in the 25th minute from Seth Oberkrum, then followed that up by Jake Rainforth. So both of the defenders highlighted in the Chamber of Connection. Jake Rainforth scored in the 47th off of a rising header as he rose like a salmon from the waters of the box. And then in the 55th, we saw a goal from Caleb Bruckner. And then 3 minutes after the hour mark, the other captain, Dennis Martinez, added his own name to the score sheet. So for Q Harris on camera, Alex Smith, I'm Tristan Jordan. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Spring Hill Sports Live. Be sure to tune in again on Thursday for more Broncos boys soccer action. Y'all have a great night.
What is typically a daunting, frustrating, and intimidating experience was enjoyable and exciting because of Amy. She listened to what we envisioned for our future home and was able to show us houses that reflected this. She was with us every step of the way, taking the time to answer our phone calls and text. We ended up with our dream home, all thanks to Amy.
Feel at home while you find your next home with Amy Kelly of Reese Nichols Real Estate. Amy goes above and beyond for her clients and even makes a contribution to Ronald McDonald House with every closing. Contact Amy Kelly to buy or sell your home.
Massage is more than relaxation. Apex Massage Therapy can go beyond with targeted work for headaches and sinuses, myofascial releases, trigger point therapy, neuromuscular therapy, reflexology, cupping, and hot stones. Kylie's hands go right to the problem areas and work out all the issues. She is certified in prenatal massages, oncology, lymphatic drainage, pre- and post-surgery massages, and she can also work on minors and athletes. For openings and specials, like and follow Apex MT on Facebook.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alyssa O'Connor, and I would like to welcome you to Sozo Chiropractic.
So many people only seek out a chiropractor when they are in pain, but ongoing wellness care helps you deal with stress and be healthier. At Sozo Chiropractic, the focus is on holistic wellness for any age. I am Webster certified for prenatal care, pediatric trained, as well as a family chiropractor. We also offer acupuncture and sauna services.
Sozo is a Greek word that means to heal, to make well, and to restore health. And that is our goal for each one of our patients who walks through the door.
You've been watching Spring Hill High School Sports on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live. Spring Hill Sports Live is presented by Strode Orthodontics, creating beautiful, healthy smiles. Learn more at StrodeOrtho.com. Also by And be sure to catch every second of the action right here on your home for the Broncos, Spring Hill Sports Live.